Cabernet Sauvignon is the world's most widely planted red grape variety. Thanks to its success in Bordeaux and Napa Valley, the grape has traveled the world over. That means you are spoiled for choice. With so many options at different quality levels and prices, should you stick with the cheap stuff or upgrade? I've got a $4 Cabernet Sauvignon and a $40 Cabernet Sauvignon. Let's check out the differences right now. Cabernet Sauvignon, Cab Sav, is the quintessential steak red wine. A lot of people love Cabernet Sauvignon for its bold flavors and its big-time tannins. A lot of people don't know that Cabernet Sauvignon is the offspring between Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Franc. It's grown all over the world, but along with all that quantity of wine, there's a lot of crap being produced out there too. When it comes to great Cabernet Sauvignon, the benchmarks for me are, of course, Bordeaux and the west coast of the USA. Not only Napa and California, Sonoma, there's some great stuff in the Central Coast, and Washington State too. In other parts of the world, I'm really fond of the Cabernet Sauvignon coming out of Bulgaria and Italy, Coonawarra, South Australia, also Margaret River in Western Australia, some absolutely lovely Cabernet Sauvignons, and surprisingly, some really good ones in places like Romania and Serbia. When it comes to South America, Chile is the king. Those Cabernets tend to be a little bit softer. So what makes wine cheap and what makes wine expensive? I've covered this in several videos before, so I'll give you an abbreviated version. Usually more expensive grapes equals more expensive wine. Land, location, just like real estate. And then labor and the winemaking process. If you're going to use oak barrels, which Cabernet Sauvignon really needs, one high quality barrel can be at least 1,200 euros, about 1,400, 1,500 US dollars. I bought both of these wines with the help of my community at Patreon. They've really helped support this channel to bring this video to you. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to know more. First up, we have the San Pedro Gata Negro Cabernet Sauvignon 2020. This is a big company from Chile. The missionaries brought grapevines to Chile, I think, in the mid-1500s, so technically that's kind of old worldy. So it's got the nice little screw cap. I'm a huge fan of screw caps. Nothing upsets me more than buying an expensive bottle of wine, bringing it home, and then it's corked. Or even a cheap one too, because it's not even worth taking the cheap one back. I actually think when it comes to cheap wines, Pinot Noir and Cabernet Sauvignons are the worst buys. You can buy much better wines made from other grapes. That's just my personal preference. But Chile really hung its hat on cheap Cabernet Sauvignon, so I'm hoping that this shows well. The $40 Cabernet Sauvignon small producer Balnaves in Coonawarra, Australia. This is their Cabernet Sauvignon 2015. 97.3. Oh, they're precise. Percent of Cabernet Sauvignon, 2.7 Petit Verdot. I haven't tried either one of these wines. I'm really excited to try the Balnaves, actually. I love Coonawarra. It's a really smaller region in South Australia known for its red soils. The cabs there have kind of fallen out of fashion because Margaret River in Western Australia has gained popularity. But this Gata Negro I've seen available for as low as $4. I think I bought this one. It was around $4.80. You know, you're a wine geek when you're pouring a $4 bottle of wine into a $25 Cabernet Sauvignon glass. I'm not goo goo gaga over Riedel, but I do like these Cabernet glasses. These glasses are huge too. They can actually fit a whole bottle of wine in them. Cabernet Sauvignon tannins can be pretty hard, pretty aggressive. It can be pretty difficult sometimes for new wine drinkers. Chilean ones have the reputation for being a little softer, although there's some serious Chilean Cabernet Sauvignons. You know, you think of producers like Cloapalta, Amaviva, I think Chadwick, and then Don Melchor from Concha de Toro. Still, my favorite Chilean wine are aged Don Melchor Cabernet Sauvignons. So let's give this a go. I'm hoping that this shows well. Gato Negro, Black Cat, smells terrible. It just smells like dust, like plum syrup, blackcurrant syrup, and medicine. It really does not smell good at all. And then this is the type of Cabernet, this is why I said, I think cheap Cabernet Sauvignon is a big mistake. If you're gonna buy cheap wines, buy something from Portugal, from some of their indigenous varieties, something from Spain, from Garnacha, from Mataro, Mourvedre, Monastrell. Those are all the same grape, by the way. On the palate, it's just not good. It's not a good wine, something I don't recommend at all. I'm just left with some drying tannin in this wine, no fruit. My mouth feels completely dry. When I was in school, elementary school, we still had the chalkboard. Sometimes to play pranks on your friends, you would take the chalk erasers and you would pound them together. There'd be a cloud of dust and people would be like, that's what my mouth feels like after tasting that. Not good at all. I don't know. Terrible. Terrible. Okay, the Balnaves of Coonawarra Cabernet Sauvignon coming to save the day, I hope. $40, not cheap by any stretch, but if you're thinking about comparing that to something like an Napa Cabernet Sauvignon or really, really high quality left bank Bordeaux, where you're going to have to spend at least 50, 60, 70 bucks and up for good quality stuff, $40 seems like a bit of a bargain. Oh, now this is classic Coonawarra flavors. A lot of mint. I think there's a lot of eucalyptus trees planted near the Coonawarra wine region, and some of the ocean breezes that come off the ocean kind of carry the flavors on the grapes. A lot of mintiness, cassis type flavors, a little bit of mocha. It just smells really, it smells cool. Menthol even. It's a little bit spicy too. I really am impressed with this wine actually. I don't really like the label that much. Sorry, Balnevs. Maybe work on a label a little bit. I did some other cheap versus expensive episodes, and the cheap wines actually perform well. In this episode, there's no question the Balnevs just blows the Gato Negro out of the water. The Gato Negro, just like a lot of cheap wines, just fool you up front. You put it in your mouth, it's so fruity, bursts, explodes, and then everything disappears. The Balnevs, when good Cabernet is good, this is the reason. It is fruity up front, but it gets actually more intense as you go through the mid palate, and then as the finish, it tapers off nice and long. I'm still tasting this wine. Really lovely stuff. Everything here, it's more complex, it's richer, it's longer, and it's just overall a lot more enjoyable to drink. I think even casual wine drinkers will find something to like about this. Tastes awful. So I know this is 10 times more expensive. Are you getting 10 times the wine? That's not always the case in the wine world. Maybe in this case, yes, I think you are getting 10 times the wine. Oh, and I know you guys want to see. Let's see if we can get the whole bottle in here. Yes, we can. This will go down into the sink. What do you think about cheap versus expensive wine? And do you like Cabernet Sauvignon? Do you have a favorite region? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're thinking about something to watch next, I'm going to throw something up here that you'll absolutely love. Cheers!